10:55. That's the red wire in the Logitech speaker that comes back from the volume. Tapped onto there, the fourth one along. Goes into read relay with the pot, 5V one. Pot brings it from 7 to 8 volts. Pot brings it from 7 to 8 volts to 5 for the read relay. You couldn't have a 12 one. That's a 0 volts power supply. It's a 16 volt power supply inside the speaker. This is the control gear. 20-second timer. When it's in standby, same as turning it off by the volume, triggers the circuit to control gear off. Turn it back on now, but it's running out of juice. It takes longer to go off in standby because it's not drawing so much current. The control gear turns back on after 20 seconds.
42.67%. 8 minutes past midday.
That was the control gear turning back on. You can do it with a trip switch as well. Trip switch went. The speakers are they're going off, but the counter's going. When it gets the note, switches back on without any bounce. There's a little bit of bounce happens in the relay, so we had to have the 555 to knock that out for a few seconds delay. It goes into an inverter chip, 4069, pin 1 and pin 2. It inverts out in and out. There's 1 meg resistor with a cap, 10 microfarad, and that makes a few seconds delay to stop the bounce.
9 minutes past midday.
There's pull up or pull down, pull up resistor on the input. The input is just shorted by the read relay over here. It's all working now. Got a 20-second delay, but it's better than it being off, and you don't have to have the volume up high. That's for the Logitech Z533. Looks like it's all going to work now, first time. Well, not first time, but first time designing this circuit this morning with the bounce. Had a few trial and errors. Got to squeeze all that in the control gearbox. Double gang Volex. Takes about an hour for it to go into standby. It's like
10 minutes past midday.
Same as turning the volume knob off. Because you get little shocks off that thing, that circuit inside the speaker. You hold it around that read relay, probably coming out to here as well. But so it's not big shock. It's not you can do the control gear off this low voltage. Well, that's that. Worked on that since this morning.
Eleven minutes past midday.
Volume had to be quite high, about 3/4 up on my mixer, which is quite a loud volume. If it's any less, it goes into standby after about an hour. It's quite uncomfortable to. I think they only want it so you're watching a film and then it's over. Over and out. secure it to the main board, stop vibration. Got DC plug coming out from the read relay. Make a little nick there. This is a module from eBay. It's programmable, 4 modes. 1, 2, 3, 4. We got it in program 1. Set the seconds. Easy to do with these buttons.
22 minutes past midday.
Got to squeeze it all in now. Sure it'll work. It's a control gear, 25 amp. The back is not connected to live. It's not connected to anything, not on earth or live. So it's good keep it upside down, facing that way. It's a transformerless power supply from Singapore, 9, 6 or 12 volts with that jumper. Just snip them to both to get 12 volts. It's got a bit of plastic bottle there to protect it on one side. Got to squeeze all these circuits in. Yeah, the Logitechs, you could have got an Inverter speaker, but they're a bit more expensive, where they got a memory card reader player, and they're slightly less watts, but they don't have the problem that all the Logitech ones have got. That all went in there. The transformer's power supplies are just a bridge rectifier and a big capacitor. It's quite good, it's low amp. I had to use a bit of wafer plastic bottle between there. I didn't put that around heat shrink, there's plastic only there, but I think it's going to screw down. Finally got it all in with a squeeze like that. Not much insulating, but possible to add a bit. That screws down. That's it already for the first test, which I'm 100% sure. I've got another one to do upstairs, the 533 and the 333, but I've got some Inverter with them, so I ain't gonna bother. Seems
Moon. Swell. 43.39%.
the solid state control gear has got an LED on it as well, but you can get it to activate, and it's Doesn't like the LEDs if the amps are and volts are low. Yeah. I started it on another going again for another test. Didn't complete the last one. And I put this amp meter on. And this is how much it's running in 0.049 amp in active mode. Yeah, in the when it goes into standby, the power supply is still powered up, and it lowers to about 0.033, I think it was, which is not much difference in standby really, but it disables the amplifier board, which is the same board which controls the standby. It's all the same board, and it seemed that they could have had another power supply that didn't consume as much amp to do the standby bit, but maybe that was lacking to save corners, cutting corners.
Daylight. 56.606%. Opposite 43%. Moon. Swell. 43.55%.
That's the volume you have to have it on to stop it going into standby. It's quite a lot to listen to for a while. That's all working. Trip switches tripped out. 50 amps on the readout. 0.05 amps on the readout. Well, better than a sonic blasting from having to keep it up loud. Next, I'll leave it to go continuously into standby and see how many amps are going. Speaker's gone into standby, and that's the amps. $28, $29. It's down from 50. Well, 25 is half, so that's about half. But so standby should use a bit more really, but a bit more energy saving than that, because yeah. Yeah, you got to turn it off for when it's in standby mode. It consumes less current, and you got to turn it off for longer. That's why the 20 seconds comes in. So longer than it would be if it was in active mode. Well, that's a running one. I've run out. So job and instructions and that all done.